I'm glad I can be happy. Welcome back to the Star Wars Retrospective. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Clone Wars, which, wouldn't you know, is pretty good. I have religiously hated the last two movies, so as a break, I've watched the Clone Wars so that I can not feel like shit every time I turn on the TV. Star Wars The Clone Wars is an incredible television show that has captured audiences for over a decade. This animated series takes place between the events of Episode 2 Attack of the Clones and Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, and provides an in-depth look at the Clone Wars, the conflict that ultimately led to the fall of the Jedi Order. One of the main reasons why The Clone Wars is such an incredible TV show is its ability to expand the Star Wars universe. It introduces new planets, species, characters, and storylines that add depth and complexity to the franchise. The series explores the political and social factors that led to the Clone Wars and the various fractions involved into this conflict. It also delves into the personal struggles for individual characters such as Anakin Skywalker's inner turmoil and Ahsoka Tano's journey to find her place in the galaxy. The character development in the Clone Wars is also exceptional. The series takes characters we thought we knew from the movies and fleshes them out, making them more relatable and human. The Anakin Skywalker in particular is given more depth and complexity, showing his gradual descent to the dark side of the Force. Meanwhile, the introduction of new characters such as Ahsoka Tano, Captain Rex, and Cad Bane provides fresh perspectives on the Clone Wars and enriches the Star Wars universe. Moreover, the Clone Wars is visually stunning. The animation is top-notch, and the use of color, lighting, and sound design creates a fully immersive experience. The series also features some of the best action scenes in Star Wars history, showcasing the abilities of Jedi and the clone troopers. Beyond its entertainment value, the Clone Wars also tackles significant themes and issues. The series explores the consequences of war, the nature of power, and the importance of friendship and loyalty. It also addresses topics such as morality, identity, and acceptance, making it a show that is both entertaining and thought-provoking. Star Wars The Clone Wars is incredible, and it has stood the test of time. Its ability to expand the Star Wars universe, develop its characters, showcase stunning visuals, and tackle significant themes make it an exceptional series that is beloved by many. Whether you're a Star Wars fan or not, The Clone Wars is a show that is worth watching and experiencing. The Clone Wars is also a masterclass in storytelling. Each episode and arc is well crafted, with a clear beginning, middle, and end. The show features some of the best writing in the Star Wars franchise, with dialogue that is both witty and poignant. This series also uses foreshadowing and callbacks to the films, rewarding longtime fans with Easter eggs and references. Another strength of The Clone Wars is its ability to appeal to a broad audience. While it's a show that is primarily aimed at children, it does not shy away from more mature themes and content. The series delves with complex issues such as war, death, and sacrifice, and handles them with a sensitivity and nuance. The Clone Wars has something for everyone, whether you're a child or an adult, a casual viewer, or a diehard fan. Finally, The Clone Wars has a significant impact on the Star Wars franchise as a whole. The series has been introducing new characters and concepts that have become fan favorites and have become incorporated into other media. The show's influence can be seen in subsequent Star Wars projects such as Star Wars Rebels, which we actually won't be talking about in this retrospective, The Mandalorian, and the upcoming Ahsoka Tano series. Star Wars The Clone Wars is an incredible TV show that stands out for its world-building, character development, stunning visuals, storytelling, and thematic depth. The series has had a lasting impact on the Star Wars franchise and has become a cultural touchstone for many fans. The Clone Wars is a show that deserves to be watched and appreciated for years to come. The Clone Wars is an improvement over all of the prequels. One of the most significant improvements in the Clone Wars is its character development. While the prequel trilogy introduced new characters such as Anakin Skywalker, Padme Amidala, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, the films often failed to develop them fully. In contrast, The Clone Wars takes the time to flesh out these characters, giving them depth and complexity. Anakin Skywalker, in particular, is given more nuanced and realistic character development. His descent into darkness is portrayed in a more gradual and believable way than in the prequel films, making his eventual transformation into Darth Vader all the more tragic. Another area where The Clone Wars often improves upon the prequel trilogy is in its storytelling. While the prequel films often had convoluted and confusing plots, the Clone Wars had a more coherent and engaging narrative. The show uses its longer format to tell more complete and satisfying stories with clear arcs and resolutions. Additionally, the series is not afraid to explore mature themes such as war, politics, and morality, something that the prequel films often struggled with. Clone Wars also benefits from its animation style. While the prequel trilogy relies heavily on CGI effects, the Clone Wars uses a blend of 2D and 3D animation to create a unique and visually stunning look. The animation allows for more creative and dynamic action sequences, showcasing the capabilities of the Jedi and the clone troopers. The use of the color and lighting also adds depth and richness to the show's visuals. Moreover, the Clone Wars addresses some of the criticisms of the prequel trilogy, such as the overuse of CGI and lacks of practical effects. The series incorporates practical models and alongside its animation, giving it a more grounded and realistic feel. The show's attention to detail and world building also make the Star Wars universe feel more lived in and believable. Finally, the Clone Wars benefits from a more cohesive and consistent creative vision. While the prequel trilogy was directed by George Lucas, it had multiple writers and directors, resulting in an inconsistent tone and style. The Clone Wars, in contrast, had a consistent creative team led by Dave Filoni, who had a clear vision for the series from the beginning. But let's talk about one of the most significant scenes in the series. The lightsaber duel between Ahsoka Tano and Darth Maul in the 7th season of Star Wars, The Clone Wars, is one of the most incredible fight scenes in the Star Wars franchise. Firstly, the fight is visually stunning. The animation and choreography are top-notch with fluid and dynamic movements that showcase the combatants' skills. The use of lighting and camera angles adds to the intensity of the fight, emphasizing the danger and urgency of the situation. The attention to detail and design of lightsabers and the combatants' clothing and armor also adds to the scene's visual appeal. Secondly, the fight has emotional weight and significance. Ahsoka and Maul are both complex characters with deep histories in the Star Wars universe. The fight represents a clash of ideologies and loyalties, with Ahsoka fighting for the greater good and Maul seeking revenge and power. The tension between them is palpable, and the fight serves as a culmination of their respective character arcs. Thirdly, the fight is well-paced and structured. The scene builds gradually, with tension and suspense building as the combatants circle each other, exchanging blows and insults. The fight reaches its climax when Ahsoka disarms Maul and the two engage in a force-powered struggle. The resolution of the fight is satisfying, with Ahsoka emerging victorious and Maul being taken into custody. Finally, the fight has implications for the wider Star Wars story. The scene takes place during the events leading up to Revenge of the Sith, and its outcome has consequences for the events of that film. Additionally, the fight showcases Ahsoka's skills and establishes her as a formidable warrior in her own right, which is significant given her role in the subsequent Star Wars media. Well, my rant is finished, and as you can tell, I love this series a whole lot, but we should move on, so 10 out of 10. This show is fucking perfection. I'm glad I don't have to talk about shit now, you know. It sure has been like a long time since I've actually, you know, like talked about or thought about something that I've really liked in the Star Wars universe, because I've just been working on these scripts. And I always like to get the more intense scripts out of the way first, so I've already done these scripts and like the Rise of Skywalker, so that was really tough. I'm glad I didn't have to talk about shit that is incredibly overrated, like only has some good aspects, and people should stop talking about in a higher light, right guys?